Take my daughter to church because she has a devil in her. This is what I've heard many times from parents as youth leader in the last 10 years. Often their parents tell me their kids are dysfunctional, they have problems. Take them, please. Like some sort of cow or animal that needs to be dealt with. In America, 50% of marriages end in divorce. Child suicide is the second leading cause of death for teenagers. And the opioid crisis in America has actually lowered the life expectancy in the United States. Life in America is not as privileged as it once was. Families are falling apart at an alarming rate, and no one seems to have an answer. But what we do know is that Americans are going to church a lot less and a lot less often as well. We have forgotten in America that raising families takes time, effort, and commitment. We have forgotten in America that as parents and grandparents, we must be intentional about cultivating our families, because if we don't, somebody else will. And I assure you, they have not the same pure intentions as we do. Since father absentee is high in America, many single mothers like my own are forced to raise their children on their own and with very little support. So Victor, how does going to church help any of this? Well, I'm glad you asked. Three reasons why going to church helps you with everything in America right now with these issues. Number one, it helps our spouse. Going to church is a lot easier than going to marriage counseling, that's for sure. Issues of trust, repentance, and hidden sins is the key to saving marriages. B, going to church helps fireproof your marriage. Great marriages don't just happen. Continuously building on good marriages makes them more resilient to moral decays. And who else would teach you and your spouse to love each other unconditionally? Meaning with no preconditions to be loved. Ladies and gentlemen, the proof is in the pudding. Statistics have shown that the divorce rates drop significantly when couples attend church 2 or 3 times a month on a regular basis. Number 2, how it helps our children. We need to be purposeful and help plan who our children become friends with. It takes time and it takes a village to help raise children. Our children need all the good role models they could get, whether it's in a pastor, whether it's in a good godly man, whether it's in a healthy marriage. Me growing up in a single parent household, very dysfunctional, church was a place where I could find role models. People that I could see and say, hey, I want to kind of be like that person. Oh, I want to talk like him one day. Oh, I want a family like that one day. I personally have coached kids out of depression, abuse, anger management as youth pastor for 10 years. I remember a story of a young lady in our youth group when we were talking about sin, about abuse, and how abuse on us is not our sin but somebody else's, and how it's not our fault for being abused, only to have her not come the next 3 weeks to youth group. I inquired and later find out that she was in a foster care. And then I inquired more and found out that she had got the guts to tell her school counselor about being sexually abused by her father. And the worst part was all her friends knew, but she had told them please not to say anything. And if it wasn't for that youth group to be able to talk about these issues and gain confidence and lose the guilt of what she was going through, I don't know where she would be today. Number 3, it helps us. It gives us hope, eternal purpose, because heaven awaits us. It keeps us active and plugged in, which statistics have shown that it helps our mental health, keeps us happier, and keeps us alive a lot longer. This is what we need in America. We need to break the ice. Often there were times where I would reach out to a mother or a father or youth in the family, and they would show excitement to go to church. But they would all say the same thing. They would all say, oh, if only my parents go with me. Or the wife would say, I would only go if my husband goes with me.